One 2005 win under their belt will prove to be heavy competition as the Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Lights class gets ready to start the much anticipated 2006 West Series Championship fight right here on Speed. It's the Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Lights West Coast Series from Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California. It's an electrifying night here in the birthplace of Supercross, Southern California, as we get set to drop the gate on round number 1 of the 2006 season. Hi everybody, I'm Ralph Shaheen alongside former Supercross Lights champion Denny Stevenson. A sold-out crowd will be on hand tonight as we raise the curtain on this new year of Supercross Lights racing, Denny. And there's a whole bunch of young riders chasing this West Coast title. Who do you like?
Well, the greatest thing about the Lights class is anybody can win this. Grant Langston has to be an early favorite, though. He's the reigning East Coast Supercross Lights champion. Throw in Nathan Ramsey, Andrew Short, who threw down the fastest lap time today at Anaheim, and Laninovich. We're going to have some great racing tonight in Angel Stadium.
Well, let's show you how they qualify for tonight's 22-rider, 15-lap main event with our Road to the Main. You see, we have 2 heat races. If you don't qualify out of that, you get 1 final shot and the last chance qualifier to make tonight's main event. Now, before we drop the gate on heat race number 1, let's head downstairs onto the floor and introduce you to the 3rd member of our speed crew. Here's Chris Devoto.
Nathan Ramsey was 3 for 3 on Anaheim podiums last year, finishing 3rd twice and winning this race, the AMA Series opener. He comes in with momentum also off of a win in Canada and Hungary. He's finished 2nd in Lights West Coast points the last 2 years. Guys, he wants that top spot.
And here's a look at our Dunlop starting lineup. Nathan Ramsey and Andrew Short, a lot of attention going to be focused on those guys, but look at Ryan Villopoto. That's another rider we should keep an eye on here in this heat race.
Ryan makes his Supercross debut this weekend in Anaheim. I expect big things from Ryan in the future.
Working our way back down through the starting lineup here as we get set for heat number 1. Now we'll be taking the top 9 out of each heat straight on into our main event here tonight. How about gate selection here tonight, Denny?
Well, we're gonna have Andrew Short right now getting the #1 pick. He's coming into Hungary right now. He turned the fastest lap time of the day in his practice down in the 101 range. He's the only rider getting the 101s. And he's hungry because he had some mechanical problems up in Canada. I don't think he quite got to show what he's capable of. But tonight, Andrew Short's looking to make a statement. He's tired of always being second, being the bridesmaid. He's looking to win and kick off this season big.
Very focused rider, and there's Nathan Ramsey. And the rider out of California, Nathan Ramsey, is going to carry our Red Bull KTM Racing onboard camera. You can see it on top of his head, helmet cam, and that's going to give us some great views here tonight.
Nathan's a great rider. He had the helmet cam a few weeks ago in Canada. Won it with the helmet cam. He felt it was good luck. He's run it again this weekend. As Krista said, he also is tired of being the bridesmaid. He's gotten second a couple times. He is a West Coast Lights champion in the past, but the last couple years he's finished second. He's looking to kick things off with a big win like he did here last season.
Boy, it sure looks like a long way down to that first corner from that helmet cam, doesn't it?
We've got a long first turn, definitely. Into the first turn, into a tight left, into a rhythm section. This first turn could be quite chaotic.
Short focused, watching for the bar to drop. Here we go. Squeezing into that first corner. Not everybody getting through.
I believe it looks like Michael Sleater out front with that hole shot early.
It is the rider in the number 81 KTM.
Michael, a local California rider, had some of his most biggest success at the Glen Helen National, wrapping up the season and quickly getting passed by Andrew Short. Like I said, Andrew put in some blistering laps in practice. I expect him to take off quickly and try and open up a gap because Nathan Ramsey, he's sitting back in that third spot.
Well, that's exactly what he wants to do. As you see Ramsey sitting in third, the rider in the number 25 going by. Short needs this opportunity now to get away quickly, while the rest of the riders like Ramsey right there try to fight their way through traffic, and he really struggled getting through those those whoops.
Yeah, you saw Ramsey get pinched off by Sleater. He was unable to do the triple jump, as we see him with the helmet cam right now. And he dropped back to that fourth spot. That's just opening up a bigger gap from Andrew Short out front.
Stay with us here on Speed with more of the Mobile Supercross lights coming your way from Anaheim. Continues to lead here in Anaheim, the opening round of the Amped Mobile's AMA Supercross Lights West Coast Series. Down into the bowl section he goes, and a lot of variety of lines through there, Denny.
Yeah, it's been used a couple years ago in the Indianapolis Supercross. Dirtworks crew wanted to try and bring it back. There were some exciting moves there a couple years ago. They're looking for some of that same excitement tonight in Anaheim.
Well, Short has done exactly what he wanted to do, and that was get away early. And he's got a healthy lead, probably about almost 6.5 seconds between him and second place Nathan Ramsey, you see right there on the KTM. Ramsey busting through those whoops, and boy, that's a nasty section of racetrack.
You know, when I sat and watched all day long in practice, that whoop section is going to be a big breaker for this lights class. The whoops are really big. A lot of guys crashing them today, and it's going to be the difference between getting on the podium, not if you can get through them or not tonight. And look at Brett Metcalf. Brett Metcalf, hot off the U.S. Open win in October. He's last season he rode the two-stroke 125. This season, Yamaha Troy bumped him up to the 250F. And I expect big things from Brett Metcalf as well. He's on a little bit more equipment than he was in that two-stroke.
And behind Metcalf comes the number 47, Collier. Sean Collier out of Santa Clarita, California, and another Yamaha.
Yeah, Sean last season was riding a privateer Honda, a 450 Honda, riding the Supercross class, riding the motocross outside, not riding the lights. Picked up a great race with Star Racing, Smith Optics, and we see Sean Collier mixing up with the factory boys right now. These guys are getting factory equipment actually on the Star Racing team.
And boy, you get a good look at the size of these jumps, rhythm sections, and whoops here as we go back on board with that Red Bull KTM helmet cam on Nathan Ramsey, flying through the air here in Anaheim.
It looks as though Nathan has found some of that speed he was unable to find in practice. His fastest lap time in practice was a 104, already down to a 101 here tonight in his first heat race. But Andrew Short, he's cooking off some consistent 1 minute. He's still a second off the pace, Nathan Ramsey is.
Ramsey down about a differential of about 7.6 seconds between Ramsey and the man who leads it on the Honda, Andrew Short. And here comes Short now back into this big rhythm section. He's going to make this right-hander, and then here comes that nasty whoop section. And it is so unforgiving, and really the best way is straight across the top.
Yeah, and we saw Andrew in practice. He was the first guy to get on top of those things, blitz all the way across. The crowd was cheering him as though it was a triple jump or something. He was able to get on top of them fast and early, and he's setting the stage tonight early. Andrew looking to be the favorite tonight come this main event.
He's on his last lap. He's got about halfway to go. Now here comes that very fast section. Big triple. And then the way it lands, it's very flat, so it really sends you scooting across through that rhythm section there, the final corner, and here's the finish line checker. And Andrew Short will take the win. 8 more riders will join him straight on in tonight's main event out of heat race number 1. Ramsey will be happy with that second place. He knows now what he has to do as they get set for the main event. Metcalf will go along as well, and Smith, Collier, all part of the top 5.
Andrew Short is reaping the benefits of having Jeremy McGrathen's team. Jeremy mentioned earlier this week in a press conference, he goes, you know, I'm not necessarily here for the results in the Supercross class. I'm here to teach the young guns a little bit. Obviously, Andrew Short is reaping those benefits.
There's Andrew Short taking the helmet off. Here's our whole shot. Let's take a look back at this.
Right coming down the middle of the pipe, Michael Sleater on that KTM, unable to get on the inside. And like I said, carnage is going to kind of create when that 90-degree first turn. Some of the guys going off the track. That is not where you want to be if you want to finish where Andrew Short did tonight.
And there's Short, skying beautifully over the air of the finish line jump. And here's a look at the results. These 9 riders are all going straight on to tonight's main event, as Andrew Short is standing on top of the victory podium with our Chris Devoto.
Well, guys, his name may be short, but that lead was pretty long. How in the world did you keep that lead out there tonight?
I don't know. I got off to a great start. You know, I was really nervous on that starting line. It's the first race of the year, and man, I was for sure praying because I'm so nervous. But I got off to a great start, and, you know, like you said, I got off to a great lead, and if it goes that way in the main, it'd be great, but I'm expecting a fight and a good race, and I'd love to be in contention for a win for Honda.
Well, you said you were nervous. Have the nerves been replaced by another emotion now that you have that heat win?
Definitely, it gives me a little more confidence, but, you know, I was humbled at that off-season race in Canada. I got smoked, I wasn't in the right place, so I know I have to stay on top of my toes and give it everything I have, and it's going to be a fun night.
All right, thanks, Andrew. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Krista, thanks. And Denny, let's talk a little bit about that whoop section. It's right in the middle of the right-hand portion of your screen. Look how deep these ruts are.
And look where this guy's standing right here. He's standing up to his knees, Ralph. This is 12 whoops right here. These things are totally deep. This is where the race can be won or lost in this lights class, because these guys got to come out of that corner with a ton of momentum, get up on top of them. If you're not getting on top of them, you're dropping in, you're losing a ton of time.
Krista?
Yeah, guys, down here ready for heat number 2. Grant Langston competed in the East Coast races last year, in part to give himself a little more time to recuperate from an injury. Now he's back in the West Coast races, and he is ready. The one thing missing from his championship lights belt, a West Coast championship. He says he's healthy, minus a sinus infection that he picked up over New Year's. Other than that, guys, he is ready to go.
Krista, thank you. As we get a look one more time at our Dunlop starting lineup here, Grant Langston, he's the one we're going to be talking so much about. Ryan Mills, Richie Owens, is the rest of the field, all in their gate, and all of that anticipation and riders like Billy Laninovich have had all during the offseason, all boiling to the top right now.
Yep, these 2 warm-up races, these guys in Canada, they come here to Anaheim 1. This is it. You got new guy Mike Alessi, Grant Langston. Those guys went toe-to-toe in 2 or 3 of the outdoor nationals this season. Now it's a chance for Mike Alessi, who's out front with the HOLESHOT. The guy's proven he's an excellent starter. Now it's his chance to prove that he can get it done in Supercross. His first professional Supercross in the U.S.
4 riders down in turn number 1, and Mike Alessi out front leading it here in Anaheim. Looking over his shoulders because he knows they're coming. Working their way through these monster obstacles here in Anaheim as Paul Carpenter out of Ithaca, New York, makes the long tow to the West Coast and gives chase on the number 35.
Paul Carpenter, former Monster Kawasaki rider, now riding for Motorsports Outlet Honda, out running second with Mike Alessi. Something you're going to keep an eye on Mike Alessi. He has struggled in the whoops. He said it. He said, man, I just can't quite get through him. He's had a hard time all night long. That first lap, he's trying to wheel tap him instead of blitzing. Come around this first lap. That's going to be an interesting place to see if he can hold off Paul Carpenter. We got now Grant Langston back there on that green Kawasaki running in fourth. And Grant's going to want to try and make quick work of these guys.
Talk about the difference between wheel tapping your way through or blitzing across the top.
Well, the way wheel tapping, watch Mike Alessi right now. He's going to try and come in after Grant Langston. Grant, on the other hand, he's going to go across the tops. He's blitzing, hanging off the back of the bike, run across the tops. Mike Alessi, on the other hand, he's doing wheel tap. He uses the first one. He goes over to the second one, wheel taps his rear wheel, and then hops over to the third one. That works really well when they're really big and spaced apart. But when you're able to blitz them like Grant Langston did and Paul Carpenter just did to take the lead, that's the much faster way to get it done.
Carpenter, the new leader here tonight in Anaheim, in heat race number 2. Again, 9 riders out of this heat going straight on to the main event tonight, which will consist of 22 riders for 15 laps. And Langston up to third and closing in on this battle for the lead, which now becomes a 3-rider fight as they go back through the bull section, completing another lap.
If you watch the Outdoor Nationals, you remember at Hangtown, Grant Langston and Mike Alessi coming together in the last lap of the last moto. Fast forward to Glen Helen, the final national of the year. Alessi and Langston again tangle. Grant Langston not putting up with anything this time with Mike. Moves quickly into second place. Mike, knowing this is his first Supercross, he's going to follow the champ, the East Coast Lights champion, and learn a little bit of something tonight.
While all that battle is going on for second, out front, it's Paul Carpenter on the Honda, leading heat number 2 here at Anaheim. Stay with us. We'll be back for more here on Speed. Easton Carpenter cutting to the inside. Here comes a Kawasaki rider into the lead. Nice tail whip, looks over the shoulder to see where second place Carpenter at. He rails around that berm through the bullet. Boy, he got through there beautifully.
Langston is making a statement right now. He's the guy to beat right now. He felt that he's the favorite. He talked to him earlier today. He's like, you know what? I am feeling the pressure.
you know, I'm expecting to win this championship this season because he realizes there's other guys that can do it as well. But he is feeling like he's the man to beat right now, and he's getting it done this heat race number 2. And he also laid down a 1-minute lap time, running in the same time as Andrew Short and Nathan Ramsey. So it's going to be a great battle between those two guys, along with Grant, come this main event.
As Krista mentioned earlier, before the heat race began, Langston wasn't feeling that great before the beginning of this week. But now, out front, feeling pretty strong as the week went on. And now, boy, Denny, leading here tonight, that'll make you feel better than anything. Yeah, you can definitely, you know, sometimes when you're sick and you're coming to an event, you're so focused on just racing that the sickness just disappears. And it looks like right now, that's what Grant's getting done. That's a look at 132. That's Billy Laninovich. Another one of the favored riders this season, and everybody thinks should be a title contender right now. Billy working his way back up through the field. He's up to 5th, so he's in a transfer spot, but that's not where he's going to want to be. He expects to be up there in the front battling for podium position. Yeah, I think Billy got caught up in that first turn carnage a little bit, got dropped back. He got his first Supercross win last season, the San Francisco Supercross. He also laid down the second fastest lap time this morning in practice. I think Billy's just using this a little bit of a stepping stone for the main event. He knows he's just got to get a better start, but he's slowly picking off these guys one by one as he now gets up behind Eric Sorby. That's the fight for 4th right now. Sorby has the position on the 917 just in front of him. Both these riders starting to close in a little bit on that number 800 of Mike Alessi. It looks like Alessi might be a little bit tentative out front tonight. It looked like it was almost easy pickings for the top two to get around him. I think it's the first race. You know, Mike's only 17 years old. He's a young kid. You know, he's going to be a champion here very soon in Supercross and Motocross, I'm expecting. But it is his first Supercross, and I think he is feeling a little bit of the butterflies, as we talked about, of the Anaheim opener. Tremendous amount of racing in Europe over the off-season, so he certainly knows the speed, knows how to do it. We'll see a lot of him before the year is out. Here comes Laninovich trying to find a way around Sorby on this last lap. Making their way over to that big whoop section. Here comes Billy on the inside. He's got it. That moves him up to 4th. Now, can he catch Alessi before this lap is over? Here comes Grant Langston. Langston making his way towards the checkered flag. One more run over the big triple. Waiting at the finish line jump. Here he comes, Grant Langston. Begins his quest for the West Coast title with a heat race win here tonight in Anaheim. And Ralph, in that heat race, Grant threw down a 58.779 second lap time, the fastest lap time we've seen all night in the lights class by over a second. Well, Mike Alessi will be feeling a lot less butterflies now as he's done a great job of finishing 3rd in heat race number 2. So that sets him up well for tonight's main event yet to come. Taking a look as the rest of the riders in the top 9 come across the line. And we go back and take a look at the highlights, beginning with the gate dropping. As we talked about in the E1, this left-hand first turn, it gets a little carnage. These guys get bumped out. They have nowhere to go. They're into the tough blocks. Guys going down. You want to escape that, because if you get held up, as Billy Laninovich did, he got held back in the pack and was able to make up the time. Grant Langston drops the inside. He knows everybody's going wide. Grant just shuts the door on Paul Carpenter. Paul has nowhere to go but shut off on the gas and just let Grant by. And then styling over the Amp Mobile finish line jump, and Grant Langston goes straight on to tonight's main event. And here's a look at the results. Again, remember, it's all the top 9 going straight on to the main event. So Langston, Carpenter, Alessi, Laninovich, all going on.
The defending East Coast champ getting a well-deserved drink, and you're off to make this a wild, wild West Coast with the start in that heat race.
I just didn't get out the gate like I wanted, but kind of just kept it tight around the first turn. A lot of guys kind of went wide. It's a pretty sharp turn, and you know, just pick guys off one at a time, and you know, managed to get to the front. And good way to start. I just like to get a better start for the main for sure. It'll help out a lot.
All right, congratulations. Back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Krista, thanks. And when we come back, we'll have the last chance qualifier for Anaheim coming your way here on into tonight's main event. Here's the starting list, the Dunlop starting list for our last chance qualifier. And a lot of names in this one, Denny, who we thought would already have transferred on to tonight's main event.
Definitely, Ralph. Ryan Villopoto, Ryan Mills, Jason Lawrence, Andrew McFarland. Not a lot of room for these guys to make the main event. This is going to be a good last chance qualifier.
One of those riders who will be searching for one of those 4 transfer spots as we go with the gate dropping and off to turn 1.
Some name guys in this last chance qualifier. Did not expect to see Villopoto being one of them. Ryan Mills, Jason Lawrence. These guys have got to do something drastic to put themselves in this main event. But out front, Andrew McFarland, a world motocross rider who's coming over here and doing some of the supercrosses for Yamaha Troy.
And turn 1 once again, chewing up a bunch of riders, and it stacks up everybody behind this battle up front. With the 124 out front of this one, pulling away Andrew McFarland out of Newport Beach, California. And then the 89 comes sliding up to take over the position, Eric Nye.
Well, it shows on our list right here that Andrew McFarland's from California, but the kid's an Australian. He finished second in the 125 World Championship Motocross Series. Now giving it a try in Supercross here in the U.S. Shutting the door on Ryan Villopoto, the young American upstart rider riding that Pro Circuit Kawasaki.
Villopoto making an interesting move as they go down into that bull section, cutting to the inside there. That's one of the things we talked about that section. Villopoto on that green Kawasaki number 51. That's a portion of this racetrack anywhere. There's a wide variety of lines.
A lot of different lines. We're seeing all kinds of positions being changed. Daniel Sani was out front, now drops back to 3rd. Also coming into the screen, we say in the Rockstar Suzuki, that's Jason Lawrence, the always exciting rider. Jason also making his Supercross debut tonight in Anaheim. But look at Villopoto. He goes from 3rd to 1st in the whoop section. This kid is something special. I've worked with him a lot throughout his amateur career. He bust out a 3rd at the Glen Helen National. This is someone we're going to see a lot of in the future.
Well, if you can get through that whoop section that strongly, boy, you really have some talent, because we've seen that whoop section eat up a lot of riders here tonight, and Villopoto just blasted across the top of them, did a tremendous job. There's a good look at McFarland on the 124 right behind him, and then it's now Thane on the 76, Roderick Thane on his Kawasaki, who has moved up to 3rd, kicking Nye back to the final transfer spot, which he's got to hold on to make it on to tonight's main event.
Got a little foreign contingent right here. McFarland, the Australian, Thane, the Frenchman. And a big battle behind him. We see Daniel Sani's front end getting taken out. He's dropped out of the qualifying position now.
Sani on the 86. But it's still Villopoto out front. There's Thane on the Kawasaki number 76, the green machine. Back into another rhythm section here. Now this is that very fast section of racetrack right here. And it's wild, Denny, because you have this very flat landing right there, which really kind of shoots you off into that rhythm section before this big firm turn right here.
1 lap to go. We see Thane in 3rd. Narita up into the qualifying position in 4th, the Japanese rider.
Villopoto, McFarland, Thane, and Narita, the top 4. Dement on the 38. Jeff Dement just 1 spot out of a transfer.
Some riders we're not going to see make this main event. Ryan Mills on the Rockstar Suzuki. His teammate Jason Lawrence also not going to make this main event. A disappointing showing for these 2 young riders in the opener here at Anaheim, but an outstanding rider. Just 17 years old. Ryan Villopoto, maybe what, 130 pounds soaking wet. A young, small rider looking to make a big debut tonight in Anaheim. And he didn't quite get it done this heat race, but he's getting it done this last chance and putting in that main event for Mitch Payton and the boys at Pro Circuit. He is the future. We're going to see a lot of these young guys, Ralph. Ryan is young. There's all these other riders coming in off the amateur level. We're going to see a lot of these young guys doing a similar thing that Ryan did tonight.
Checkered flag. He wins the last chance qualifier. He's going on to the main event. 3 other riders will join him. McFarland, Thane, and Narita makes the transfer. Jeff Dement comes up 1 position short of making it to the opening main event here for the 2006 Supercross Lights West Coast season. So these 4 riders will advance. Villopoto, McFarland, Thane, and Narita going on to the main, and you'll see it right here on Speed coming up. Well, Supercross Lights West Coast Series main event. Let's take a look at our Dunlop starting lineup. And this is going to be a great one. A lot of fast young riders in here, including Grant Langston and Nathan Ramsey and Andrew Short, Of course, Langston and Short winning their heat races early on tonight, Denny.
They won them pretty commandingly as well. Grant Langston throwing down a high 58, while Short and Ramsey were throwing down around the 1 minute mark. So Langston's thrown it down, the fastest lap time of the night, and he is showing that he is the guy to beat, but it's all going to come down to that start, getting through that tight left-hander.
Let's check in with Chris Villopoto now with our Progressive pre-race report.
One of the most unique features of this track's layout is this, a tunnel jump. Now what that is, the riders will go over the tabletop as they come across the finish. They'll come around this berm and then go through this underpass back out onto the track. It's not one of the trickiest designs, but it is one of the most unique, and at least it gives the riders a little bit of a different view as they head back out onto the course.
There's a good look at Andrew Short. The focus, you can look in those eyes and you can see it as they focus on turn 1. And Grant Langston, so strong in his heat race.
Strong. Perfect word for Grant Langston. The kid is strong. He's big, he's thick, he works out. Nathan Ramsey, another rider who's kind of searching for some stuff. He didn't really have the speed he wanted in his practice. He found it in his heat race. He's running the helmet cam tonight, and he's done some change in his style. Nathan's always been an overly aggressive rider. This season, working with Buddy Antonez, he's smoothed out, looking to be consistent and put himself in the box and win himself a title.
We're underway. Main event time. Banging our way through turn 1. 2 riders down.
Alessi down and Nathan Ramsey down just like that. Nathan Ramsey, one of our favorites. Boom, 2 Red Bull KTM guys, 21st and 22nd.
That's the view from the Red Bull KTM onboard camera as Nathan Ramsey tries to make up ground on the Kawasaki riders out front.
Langston's down in the whoops. Just out of camera range, Langston goes down. He is out of this chance right now. He's going to be buried back in the pack with the rest of the pack. Out front, Darcy Lange and Ryan Villopoto.
And we were talking about it during the break and how strong Ryan Villopoto could be if he gets a good jump. And he's got a tremendous one with a lot of distance between him and the rest of the field.
You got to be honest with you, we spoke about it right before the main event, and I said, you know, Ryan's going to have a terrible pick on the gate just because of his last chance qualifier. I don't think he's going to get the start he's going to need, but then he's only 137 pounds. He's on that Monster Pro Series Kawasaki, and he just rocketed it out front. This could be a huge chance for this rookie. This is his Supercross debut right here.
Let's take a look at the Toyota HOLESHOT and the trouble that came after it down in turn 1.
Look at the center of your screen. You're going to see the KTM getting pinched off right here of Nathan Ramsey. He's going to get pinched. But right there, that's Ryan Villopoto. He cases the double a little bit, and he's going to take off and set his sights on Darcy Lange, who gets the HOLESHOT. The Arena Cross Supercross champ, Nathan. Brett Metcalf to your left in a 123 in the Yamaha. He's banging bars. He's got Michael LaPaglia right there, and LaPaglia just basically falls on him, and down they go. The Red Bull KTM guys of Michael Alessi and Nathan Ramsey starting out last, but then again, Grant Langston goes down the whoops, and they aren't so last after all.
That was our Toyota HOLESHOT and Villopoto out front. Boy, what a way to begin the West Coast Series for the Supercross Lights. If Ryan Villopoto can make it into the main event and come out of Anaheim with a win.
Already opens up a 3.5-second lead over Darcy Lange. Billy Laninovich back in 3rd, and Andrew Short buried in 7th. Alessi 13th, Ramsey 16th. Langston 21st. This is the stage set for the 17-year-old rookie of Ryan Villopoto. All the favorites are buried in the back of the pack, and this is an opportunity of a lifetime for this 17-year-old.
Taking a look at Lange now, riding along in 2nd place on the 330, the Kawasaki.
The 2-time Arena Cross champion transfers over to Supercross, working with my good friends Billy Whitley on the Keen Green Kawasaki, and Darcy Lange getting it done right now. A great job by this young Canadian.
Boy, this is big for him too. And there's Andrew Short on the 29. Short right now listed in 7th position by the factory Honda rider. Really looking for more than that as he got the night started feeling so comfortable after a very strong heat race win. And as you look at the chase for this West Coast Series championship, and Ryan Villopoto could come out of Anaheim with the points lead. well, that's going to be huge.
This is almost as crazy as last season when it was just a huge mutter, all types of guys going down. You never knew what was going to happen. And right now, something similar. Nathan Ramsey right now, buried in the back of the pack, but he's coming fast. I would not count him out. He's back in 15th. This is a chance. He's got to make up some of these points. As they say, you can't win the championship on the first race, but you sure can lose it.
He sits in about 15th, chasing Jesse Casillas right now. There's one spot in front of him. The Red Bull KTM rider doing everything he can to gain more points. And Billy Laninovich now on the red 132 moves past Lange to take over second place.
Another one of the top guys we really haven't been talking about. He's on the Sobi Samsung Honda, moves into second spot, and he has got a chance to maybe reel in Ryan Villopoto, the young rider, out front. And Ryan Villopoto already opening up a 6.7 second lead, Ralph. Wow, did we expect this? Not at all.
Watch Laninovich working his way through the bumps. Lange giving chase into the rhythm section. And coming up after this big right-hand turn, that nasty whoop section. There goes Billy.
Just hanging off the back of the bike, doing everything he can to find that extra grip. And here comes Andrew Short just outside your screen behind Lange right now, up to 4th spot.
Short on the red, number 29. He knows he's fast on this track, had a very solid heat race win, and he's coming right after Lange. This is for 3rd. Got him. So Andrew Short up to 3rd. He'll chase after Laninovich now. But out front, it's the youngster that everybody's chasing, Ryan Villopoto. He's our leader. Stay with us here on up into the top 10 has fought his way back up through the field. And Denny, I don't think we can underline that enough as to how important every single position from now to the end of this race that Langston can gain back is going to be a huge factor if he wants a shot at that triple crown of all 3 Supercross lights titles.
Well, considering last season Grant Langston and Josh Hansen tied in points, and Langston got the overall championship because of race wins, it just shows that every single point counts. And man, every spot will count as he chases, moves through the pack, and tries to gain ground as this teammate, Ryan Villopoto, the 17-year-old sensation in his debut Supercross, out front.
Battle for second is a great one right now. Billy Laninovich sees it go away as Short puts a stunning move to the inside to take over the position.
Laninovich going wide, kind of looking to square it up, set up for the section as Short just dive bombs his front end, moves into second spot, says, I don't have time to deal with you. I got to set my sights on the 17-year-old sensation that's out front in Willian. Villopoto's lead has been cut almost a second, from a 6.7 down to a 5.7 right now. And as we end this lap, it's down to a 5.1. So Short is coming. We're just at the halfway point right of this main event.
Boy, he really railed through the pole section. Can he get him, Denny? Oh, and Ramsey's down. So we go on board with him. He is down.
A big-time crash for Ramsey. His helmet camera is loose. Like I said, you cannot win a championship in the first round, but you sure can lose it. And man, this was heartbreaking for Nathan Ramsey right now.
It looks like just the camera might have gone out of position. We actually thought he was down, but I think, yeah, you can see the camera flopping off the back of his helmet.
Yeah, he went down.
Right back here, you can see it just flying around. You can see him trying to get rid of it. He's lost his goggles, too.
Huge, terrible moment for Nathan Ramsey. Man, heartbreaking for the Red Bull KTM team and Nathan. He's been working so hard, changing his riding style, trying to change things up. Goes down the first turn. From the first beat of the race, man, it's just been nothing but bad luck.
Let's take a look at the replay. Here you can see the Red Bull KTM on board.
Justin Brayton.
He goes right into the back of him, and down he did go.
Yeah, Justin Brayton cases that section. Nathan had nowhere to go, but just right on the rear wheel of him. And man, when you're buried in the back of the pack, that's just some of the things that happen, the bad luck that happens, and he got caught up in it.
And somewhere on the floor of the stadium here in Anaheim is a fairly expensive lipstick camera that hopefully the track workers will return to us here at Speed. And look at this. Short has closed the gap on Villopoto. Villopoto on the green Kawasaki still has the lead with 7 to go, but Short on the bright red Honda number 29 closing the gap.
What an impressive ride for Ryan Villopoto. Another impressive ride for Andrew Short, obviously reeling in this young rider, giving him an opportunity to win this race. We've still got 6 laps to go now. And we talked about the pressure of the opening round, Ralph. This 17-year-old kid is in front of a sold-out, packed crowd, Anaheim opener. He's got to be starting to feel the pressure.
And Denny, I think that whole section is one of the fastest parts for Andrew Short. If he is still in second place when we get back there, he seems to make up a tremendous amount of time through there. And he gets through the whoops exceptionally well. And good enough to take the lead.
Dives to the inside. We saw Ryan Villopoto. He's young. I think he was kind of staying in the main line of the whoop section, not changing over where Andrew Short was searching for a more fresh line. He was able to get up on top of him, went from about 2-second gap and just blew right by the young Villopoto.
Andrew said that he felt like he left some things in Canada that he was not happy about. Well, he should be very pleased with the way this run is going here tonight. If he can hang on for the win, what a great way to begin to chase for the West Coast Championship. Watch this run through this bowl section. And boy, Short really gets through there well.
Another rider to make note is Grant Langston. Langston is up to 4th right now.
Huge implications towards the championship there. And Langston can come out of here with a top 5 finish. And who knows, he could end up on the podium before the night's over if he can run down Billy Laninovich.
Plenty of time right now. Andrew Short with the 25 points you get for 1st. Laninovich back in 3rd for 20. And Langston at 18 points for 4th right now. Only could lose 7 points after a huge crash on the opening lap.
He was next to last when he regained his composure and got back into the race. And now he has a shot at maybe finishing on the podium. An amazing night for Langston. But he's still got to catch Billy Laninovich. Not an easy task. Villopoto.
Now, what can we say about that young rider? His teammate here, Grant Langston, going for the, like you said, the lights triple crown. Trying to get this West title under his belt. Just first round here in Anaheim. He goes down the whoops. Everything's against him, and he charges back. This guy's an animal.
And Lights Triple Crown, of course, he's already won the Supercross Lights East Coast title and then the outdoor title as well. He's riding very well tonight, Denny. If it wasn't for that wobble at the very beginning, who knows where Grant Langston might be finishing tonight.
Well, Andrew Short's fastest time tonight was a 59.8. Right now, Langston's is a 59.4. So obviously, these guys are running very similar times. Both of them had to come through the pack. Obviously, Grant a little farther back than Andrew. But this race isn't over. He's still closing the gap on Billy Laninovich and has a shot at making the podium. 4 to go.
And you got to wonder who did enough training, because as tough as this racetrack has been, a physical mistake, if you wear out, you get arm pumped, that could be the difference here tonight.
In the past, Billy's been known to get tired. You know, he's had some knee problems and injuries, and he hasn't really had the endurance. And while Grant, on the other hand, he's been known to kind of be the Iron Man. But tonight, Billy Laninovich looks like he's done his homework in the offseason. He's looking strong, putting in consistent lap times. And as of right now, him and Langston's maybe catching about a half-second a lap.
Well, Langston's got a lot of reasons to run very well here tonight. Of course, one of them is the fact that he won the championship. But he already has a kid and another one on the way, and he told us earlier that his wife really enjoyed Christmas shopping. So he's got a lot of bills to pay, and he needs the money that comes with a good finish. Andrew Short is looking to take home the big check with hope possibly a win here tonight. You saw Villopoto go by, and that was Laninovich coming through. We go back to Short up front with 3 to go.
What an incredible career Andrew Short has had. He has had to work for everything. He's just a young kid out of Colorado. His friend Paul Lindsay gave an opportunity on the Motor World Suzuki team back in the day. And every level Andrew Short has delivered. He's a good Supercross rider, great outdoor rider. He has a shot here at getting that title, and he's worked so hard for it. The Honda team rewarded him with a factory contract. Jaron McGrath is really likes working with this young rider, and what a great opportunity to have Jaron McGrath as your coach. And obviously Andrew Short is eating it up. He's been like a sponge, and he's learned a lot from the 7-time Supercross champ.
Last year, Andrew Short just 1 win on the 125 West Championship Trail. That coming in Houston. to go along with 4 additional podium finishes. And boy, he's beginning this year's chase for the West Coast Supercross Lights Championship in fine fashion, 2 laps away from a win here in Anaheim.
Last season, he led quite a few races, only to kind of fade in the very end of the race, lose the lead the last few laps. We're seeing a new Andrew Short. He's not fading in the least. He's worked so hard. He's done his homework. Honda's worked out some of the bugs they had with the bike at the U.S. Open and then the Canadian rounds, and he is out front charging hard.
Andrew Short, one of those riders that just can't get enough time on the motorcycle, even when he's not racing, as another rider has gone down in this rhythm section. Andrew will work his way through the yellow flags. Telling me that even when he's not training, just can't get enough of that motorcycle. Just likes to go play ride. So many of these top professionals do, but some guys like to break away, get a break. Not Andrew.
And he's always got a smile on his face.
Not just his work, but his passion as well.
Imagine the smile he's going to have at the end of this, winning this Anaheim Open on the final lap.
One more corner and the big finish line jump, and Andrew Short is going to come away with the win. Here's that last corner. Andrew Short wins the season opener for the Amp Mobile Supercross Lights in Anaheim. Brian Villopoto with a fine finish in second. Laninovich holds on for third. And Grant Langston, after next to last, finishes in fourth. Stay with us. We'll be back to talk to the winner in Anaheim. And Ramsey with spectacular video for us here on Speed. But it's Andrew Short with the win here in Anaheim. Stay with us on Speed. Sunday. The results from tonight's Amped Mobile AMA Supercross Lights West Coast Series season opener. Andrew Short taking the win, but Ryan Villopoto with a tremendous effort to finish second here tonight in his first ever Supercross Lights main event. As we look back through the field, Mike Alessi in ninth in his debut as well. Let's head downstairs to Krista with Ryan Villopoto.
Guys, I don't know if second place has ever felt more like first. Ryan Villopoto, quite a show for your first time out. What do you think?
It's really good. You know, I didn't have very good qualifying position. You know, I was like second one on the outside, so wasn't too good. And I got a really good jump, and then me and McFarland like actually tangled bars coming in the first turn. I almost got thrown off, and you know, I just rode a smooth race. It's my first Supercross, and you know, a little winded, but other than that, you know, should be good at Phoenix.
All right, we're going to be hearing his name a lot more. Ryan Villopoto, second here in Anaheim.
Oh, what a tremendous job he did. And here's a look at the AMA Supercross Lights point standings for the West Coast Series after the season opener here tonight. And Ryan Villopoto 3 now behind Andrew Short, who picks up the win here tonight. Billy Laninovich in third, 5 points back. Let's take a look at the Buku Big Air tonight. Andrew Short, he's our Buku Big Air replay of the night as he skied through the Anaheim night here on his way to the victory. And he's standing by with Kristen.
As he took the checkered flag, he gave us a big fist pump. I think that said it all. How excited are you with your win for the season opener?
Yeah, man, I was off to a rough start. I got off horrible. This is awesome. I never, you know, you work so hard in the offseason to win, and this is truly amazing. I'm really blessed by the Lord, and gosh, this feels so good. I didn't even know I was in the lead, really. I was just looking at my board, lap times, and I was riding really tight once I got by Villopoto, and I was expecting Langston or Ramsey or someone to be checked out because I had such a bad start, and this is just amazing, you know. Honda worked really hard, Fly Racing, Alpine Star Spy, Dunlop Tires, DVS. There's so many people that backed me, my mechanic Lowe's, family, sister, wife. This is awesome, this is the best, yeah.
Congratulations, Andrew Short, our winner.
But he's flying high through the Arizona nighttime here inside of Chase Field. Stay with us for more on Speed.